everybody, this is your weekly horoscope for Monday the 19th of November going through until Sunday the 25th of November 2018. Thank you for joining me today. It is a pleasure to be with you. Now I'm going to give you a day-by-day rundown of what's happening this week in terms of the astrology. So what I do is I look at what relationships the planets form in the sky, what energy that creates, as above so below, how that energy then affects all of us down here on Earth, and this weekly horoscope is for all signs of the zodiac. It's a day-by-day rundown and it's based on UK time, so just take that into account when if you're in a different time zone. So on Monday the 19th of November we have the Aries moon. The moon is the most sensitive part of who you are, and in Aries it's really let's go, let's do things that are fun, let's overcome obstacles, let's do what we want to do, let's lead, let's be number one, let's compete, let's get places, let's progress. It's the sign of the ram. It's independent and it wants to go somewhere. It trines Mercury in Sagittarius. Mercury is the communication planet, and in Sagittarius it's really way in the future already. So Aries is trying to get to the future. The communication planet is showing you the future. So it's all systems towards the future. The masculine principle Mars is in Pisces and it squares Jupiter in Sagittarius. So Mars rules Aries, the fire sign. Mars is the red planet of masculinity and drive, and it's not that happy in Pisces because it's forced to connect spiritually. The square with Jupiter in Sagittarius means that the good luck comes from moving forward and not trying to resolve all the Mars and Pisces issues today. The Aries moon also squares Pluto in Capricorn. So by moving forward and by progressing, you're going to be able to make changes to your actual practical day-to-day life. So Monday you're full of energy and you're ready to get things done. The Jupiter in Sagittarius with Mercury in Sagittarius really brings you a lot of good luck. Ultimately and fundamentally though, on this day, it's your actions that are going to have a positive effect today. Not digging around in your feelings, not analyzing, not being passive, but being proactive. On Tuesday the 20th of November, we've got the moon going into Taurus at 11:44 in the evening. So the moon in Taurus is a lot slower. Taurus is the bull. It's about being grounded, being rich, being beautiful, having beautiful things around you, enjoying your creature comforts, wanting to have security, financial security, all of those things in your life. And the pace is much slower. Aries is like ramming things down, and Taurus is just there. It's like, look at me, I'm beautiful. I'm this powerful animal. The sun is in Scorpio. So the sun, like Mars and Pisces, is kind of forcing all of us to look at our emotional selves at the moment. And it trines Chiron in Pisces. Chiron is the wounded healer. It's the part of the chart that's most difficult until you transform it to become a great strength. So both of them are in Pisces. So unless you have a spiritual practice in place or friends to kind of distract you or to use that energy, this is again going to feel somewhat uncomfortable in terms of the emotions. The Taurus moon quincunxes Jupiter in Sagittarius. So that's a contradiction. Taurus moon says, let's build a nest with jewels and diamonds and rubies and beautiful things. And Jupiter in Sagittarius says good luck will happen if we move forward. The Taurus moon also sextiles Mars in Pisces. So you've got a more grounded kind of choice today on Tuesday the 20th. It's very similar to Monday, but on Tuesday you feel more grounded and more healed as a result. There's still this emotional pain floating around you with the Chiron trine to the sun, but by looking to the future, practically, and intellectually, that is your best bet today on Tuesday the 20th. Okay, I'm just being reminded to remind some of you guys about this. If you have someone in your life, if you have a friend in your life or a family member in your life who you haven't seen for a while, and that family member has had problems, either with their sexual identity or with their body, with their weight, or religion, or health, or addiction, or loneliness, or whatever it may be. For people who are susceptible to mental kind of a state of being unhealthy mentally and spiritually, this is really the time of year where it's uncomfortable. I personally, for me, this time of the year is super rough. For instance, in my case, I just want to give you this example. When Mars was in retrograde, Mars is in Pisces in my 4th house of family, so it's kind of unable to do anything than connect with spirituality. And when Mars was in retrograde this summer, I was able to move. I was free. I was like, oh. Now Mars is in Pisces and I feel like topping myself. It's awful. So rather than jumping out the window, you need to look at this, and listen, I can relate because I'm having a tough time as well. And the reason why I mentioned people who are close to you in your family, you know, if someone was in rehab 10 years ago or 5 years ago or whatever, or someone really struggled with their weight their whole teenage years, and you're just assuming now that that person is fine, don't assume. Try and think of someone today on Tuesday and just give them a ring. Just call them. Just phone them up and say, hey, I haven't spoken to you in a while. That can make such a huge difference. Because some people aren't able to take emotional pain. Some people buckle under the pressure and the actual pain of it. And you don't know what a phone call can do, or just a simple hello, or just asking, you know, years ago you had this problem with bulimia, how is that going? You know, just asking simple things like that can make all the difference in the world. So you really have an opportunity here, and I know I'm being melodramatic almost, but you have the opportunity on Tuesday to like save lives by doing very simple things, by reaching out to people who may be vulnerable and who need help and who don't have anybody. Wednesday the 21st of November, the Taurus moon sextiles Mars in Pisces. So Taurus moon still focused on keeping things as they are. The Mars in Pisces sextile with that Taurus moon is a much better fit than with Aries, because Taurus gives you a nice foundation, and from that nice foundation you actually have the presence of mind and the peace and quiet to pursue spiritual principles. Whereas on Monday and Tuesday, your emotions really just derailed you, and now it's an opportunity to connect spiritually, but there's a very fine line between the emotional and the spiritual. So whichever way you shake this, it's gonna feel uncomfortable at times. The moon trines Saturn in Capricorn, and it quincunxes Mercury, the communication planet, in Sagittarius. So on Wednesday the 21st, you're gonna feel conflicted between the spiritual work that you're doing and the practical. You're being pulled in both directions with these planets. Again, your best bet is to feel your feelings, to accept them, to try and discern where the line is between spirituality and just throwing a pity party for yourself, as an example. Ultimately, if you want to keep it very, very simple, do the same as Monday and Tuesday. Look to the future and be practical and build that future. On Thursday, the 22nd of November, the sun moves into Sagittarius at 9:03 in the morning. So happy birthday, Sagittarius. The Taurus moon sextiles Chiron in Pisces. So There's still that sense of emotional pain floating around. It quincunxes Venus in Libra, planet of love and beauty, and it trines Pluto in Capricorn. So it's not just Sagittarius's birthday, it's also, if you're in the States, happy Thanksgiving. If you're preparing a meal today, make sure you don't take it too seriously. It doesn't matter if everything comes out perfectly. What's more important is enjoying those around you and trying to keep things light. So exactly what I'm not doing in this reading. Monday, Tuesday, talking about suicide, that's heavy, okay? Keeping it light is, so how was Colorado? What's your favorite color? What do you like to do on the weekends? That's light, okay? So keep things light. If you're not in the States, you can still connect with other people and friends and family and keep things light again. It's not the time to rehash, you know, what someone did to you ages ago. So if your mother forgot to pick you up from school when you were 12 and you had to wait an hour in the rain, Thursday the 22nd is not the day to say to your mother, this has ruined my whole life and we need to rehash this and we really need to work this out. It's not the day for it. It's just because if you go there, other people are also feeling uncomfortable emotionally and trying to figure things out and doing the best they can. And it's a week where people can easily be triggered. Like, I got called an outcast yesterday and I blew my lid. I blew my top. It just had that emotional response. It wasn't even said maliciously. It was just said it's like, you know, it was meant to bring me and someone else closer together, but it was just a word and it triggered me, and all the rejection and all those feelings of being an outcast and never fitting in and never getting anything in life, and it really triggered me, and I flipped. So be careful about what you're saying. That's what I mean. Keep it light, because you don't know what someone's trigger point is, you know? So keep it light for yourself, keep it light for other people. Moving on to Friday the 23rd of November, the moon goes into Gemini at 4:12 in the morning. So that's good news. Gemini is an air sign. It's about communicating, it's about looking to the future. That's very positive and optimistic. The sun going into Sagittarius the day before on Thursday the 22nd, that's also very optimistic, because Gemini and Sagittarius are kind of related. Gemini is an air sign. It likes to learn and communicate and go through different doorways. Sagittarius is a fire sign, and it feels driven to learn and to go on adventures and to discover and to walk through different doorways, but to then bring that back and teach it to other people. So Gemini uses communication as fun, and Sagittarius takes it seriously in terms of, this is information I need to teach you. It's a more serious energy than Gemini, but it certainly is much more upbeat than Scorpio, because Scorpio is like, let's look within and twist the knife. Again, I'm exaggerating. It's just because I felt that way. And Sagittarius is like, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, there's so much to discover and there's so much to do, let's get going. Also on Friday the 23rd, there is a full moon in Gemini that takes place at 5:39 in the morning. Now, I've done a separate video on this. Have a look at this. The full moons are the culmination point of the moon. It's when it reaches its fullness and it lets go, and it just kind of lets its energy go and it showers us with its energy. So it moves into Gemini at 4:12 in the morning, and the full moon happens at 5:39, so like an hour and a couple of minutes later. So it almost was a Taurus full moon. It isn't, it's a Gemini full moon, which is great, because that again keeps things moving, it keeps things light, and that's what we're trying to achieve things. So the week, we can see the turning point here is on Thursday. Things are very good practically and in terms of your work, Monday through Thursday. but they're not good emotionally. On Thursday that changes because you start to look more, you become more positive and optimistic, and you look at the future in a way that is like anything can happen. Whereas Monday to Thursday would be like any terrible thing can happen. So Friday, that full moon, have a look at the video, it gives you more information. The Sagittarius sun opposes the moon in Gemini and Jupiter in Gemini on Friday. The moon also opposes Mercury in Sagittarius. So Mercury and the sun are sitting together in Sag. The moon is in Gemini and Jupiter is sitting next to it. So it's a really positive full moon that opens up lots of doors of opportunity that promise joy, freedom, happiness, relationships, communication. And these aren't just promises, this is something that will actually be delivered. So Friday is an exceptionally positive day in terms of learning something new or going somewhere new or meeting someone new and discovering. Saturday the 24th, Neptune, the water planet of dreams and manifestation and intuition, it goes direct. Now the outer planets are in retrograde and they go direct for 6 months, 9 months. So the retrogrades we really look at that are important are the personal planets, Mercury, Mars and Venus. With the outer planets, it's really on the day when it goes direct that a major change happens. So Neptune now going direct on the same day. The moon is in Gemini, allows you to communicate very easily. It trines Venus in Libra, and Venus is creativity, love, beauty. It's in the sign that it rules, Libra, so it's able to express itself better than in any other sign. Well, in Taurus it can also express itself very well. And the moon also sextiles Uranus in Aries. That's the first time we've had Uranus now. Uranus is about eccentricity and energy. In Aries, it's about let's go, let's keep things moving. So on Saturday, the time to manifest your reality is here. So when Neptune is in retrograde, the changes happen within and you dream about things and you look at what is it that I really want. It's now time to externalize your dreams and to make them a reality. So if you haven't made a vision board yet of what you want, you know, the perfect house, the perfect car, good health, perfect partner, whatever it is you want out of life, peace of mind, contentedness, happiness, a good connection with a higher power, whatever it is you want, if you have some time, make a vision board, because now with Neptune going direct, you're really, the pace of manifestation for you really picks up. And that is now valid for the dark period of the year. If you're in the northern hemisphere, October, the end of October is when, you know, the dark month of the year. I can't speak, I'm sorry. When the dark 6 months of the year begin. And those months are very much about doing things more inwardly because it's pitch black if you're in the northern hemisphere. And Neptune is really contradictory to that because it goes direct. So everything's telling you to go within. Neptune is telling you to externalize, and everything else this week has said don't chew on your feelings too much, just go out and get things done. So Saturday is a really lucky day where, again, you can, the things that have been kind of with you for months and years especially, those are the things to make a reality, and to also give yourself permission to have your dreams come true and to make them a reality. On Sunday the 25th of November, the moon moves into Cancer at 6:39 in the morning. So you become much more nurturing, intuitive, family oriented. The sun is in Sagittarius and it conjuncts Jupiter, so that's really lucky. The sun, the silver and gold of the sun and Jupiter together is beautiful. The Cancer moon trines Mars in Pisces, so very happy, they're all in water, and Neptune in Pisces. So I would venture that Sunday, the 25th of November, is one of the luckiest days of the year. You feel good now within yourself, and you also feel nurturing, intuitive, and interested in other people and relationships. Your hopes and dreams come true on Saturday by manifesting them. Here on Sunday, they come true by bumping into people or businesses that you're going to create a relationship with and move forward with. So make sure you're out and about on Sunday, and make sure you hang on to the encounter or the connection you make on Sunday. Make something of it. If it's a person, go for a coffee. If it's a business, ask for a tour, or if you could shadow one of their employees because you're so interested. Sunday, you'll really learn a lot. It's going to inspire you. It's going to change your perspective. And it can really inspire you to do something else work-wise, which, if you're dissatisfied, it's important to have work that really feels like it's your purpose. If you don't know what your purpose is work-wise, then please get in touch with me for a private reading. It's really easy to see that on an astrology chart. Also on this day, it can also be a romantic or financial success as well. So that is the luckiest day of the week. It's one of the luckiest days of the year so far, so that's really good. And we're in November. Yeah, so don't, you know, like if you meet someone and it's really like it's a ghostwriter and you've always been looking for a ghostwriter and you just happen to meet, and there's that moment of quiet where someone's going to suggest, do you want to have a cup of coffee, or can I get your number, or whatever. You've got to fill that silent gap by jumping in and getting your hooks into that other person or business, and to make sure that that relationship continues, because it's really, really going to benefit you. So that's what I've got for you this week. If you would like a private reading with me, what I do is I draw up your personal astrology chart by using your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, I can rectify your chart. It's a separate process, so I need some information from you. Email me about that, please, if you want to have your time of birth rectified. Once I have the time of birth, I draw up your astrology chart. It shows me what your life purpose is, your vocational aptitudes, where you've been in past lifetimes, what's destined for you in love and romance, success, social acclaim, spiritual progress, health, romantic relationships, children, fun, work, travel, moving. The astrocartography allows me to see where the best place for you to live is in the world, and I also use the tarot and numerology as well as the predictive astrology to see what's coming up in future. So if you're interested in a reading, then please get in touch with me via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. If you like my videos, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll speak to you next week.